So hi everyone. Just right now Alibaba has released QWQ, an upgraded version of Qwen, which is comparable with OpenAI O1 model. So this 32 billion open source model has already beaten OpenAI O1 Mini and is almost beating out OpenAI O1 Preview as well on multiple metrics. So let's try to understand how does QWQ, the key architect features of it, and on what metrics how it performs. So let's get started. So as mentioned, the first version of QWQ, that is QWQ32B Preview, is an experimental model that is released by the Qwen team from Alibaba for improved AI reasoning capabilities. Now, if you're looking at the key features, advanced reasoning abilities has been added. It shows great promise on analytical tasks like mathematics and logical deductions. Strong maths and coding performances as well. It has outperformed O1 Mini and looks neck to neck with O1 Preview as well. So if you look into this particular chart at the GPQA dataset, it scores 65.2, which is way more than O1 Mini and is like less than O1 Preview, but it beats O1 Preview on AIME and also on Math 500 as well, but gets beaten on Live Code Bench. So its live code bench score is less than both O1 Preview and O1 Mini. But apart from that, my Math 500, it beats both the models, and AIM it beats O1 Preview as well. Now GPT-4o it beats it on AIME very comfortably. As you can see, GPT-4o was just 9.3, but it is 50 here. Same on Math 500, same on GPQA, as well as on Live Code Bench. So it has beaten GPT-4o very comfortably on almost all the grounds. If you compare here, it looks like it has beaten Claude 3.5 Sonnet also on multiple parameters. And just remember that it is just a 32 billion model, so it's crazingly good. As mentioned, as you can see here, what are the areas to improve? We saw that Live Code Bench score was lesser, and what are the as it is still in early stage, not tested much, people still believe that OpenAI O1 should come out better on different benchmarks. But I think still it's a great step towards open source community where it is able to beat out the best reasoning model so far with just 32 billion parameters. Talking about the architectural changes, they are using transformers. They're using rotary positional embeddings, a technique for encoding positional information in models to improve its ability to understand sequence orders. This is great. The long context understanding, about 32K. They are using an activation function called a switch gated linear unit, a more efficient activation compared to ReLU and RSM norm. I think this must be knowing. Activation QKV bias. Add learnable bias to QKV. So if you are knowing the attention metrics that gets used in transformers, it is adding bias to that. Talking about total number of parameters, 32.5. Non-embedding parameters, 31 billion, and number of layers is 64. Some of the limitations that the team has mentioned in the blog straight away is that it at times not able to switch between multiple languages in a single response, and it usually leads to create confusion between the user. Recursive reasoning loop, it sometimes gets stuck in circular reasoning, repeatedly re-examining, so it is not able to come out of that reasoning loop. So this is one limitation our team has figured out. Safety and ethical concerns are still there. They feel that the model requires better safeguards to ensure outputs are safe, and users may exercise cautious, as mentioned, and performance gaps in common sense and language nuances. So it is great in maths and coding, but struggle with common tasks. So I think this is something that needs to be looked out for. How to use the model? So I think the model is available on Ollama as well. So you can just run Ollama run QWQ. It is also available on Hugging Face in Transformers. So this is the code to run that. I would be covering a different video on how to do this, so no worries about it. And the third way is to use Hugging Face Spaces, which is a free UI where you can test out the model. So I think concluding this post, Alibaba QWQ looks great because it's just 32 billion parameters and it has already beaten O1 on multiple metrics. You can try the model straight away. There are certain limitations as we talked about, but I think they will go as time passes out. I hope you try out the model. See you in the next one.